Hi, I'm Rick Kaler. Thanks for joining me. My CFP peers across the nation are probably tired of hearing me sing the praises of living in South Dakota. One of them recently emailed some disturbing news that put some pretty sour notes in my South Dakota is God's Country song. A recent national survey that ranked the financial literacy of U.S. states in the District of Columbia ranked South Dakota at 49th. The survey appeared at Wallet Hub in an April 6, 2022 story by John S. Kernan. It collected results from 34,759 people that covered three areas: Wallet Hub's Wallet Literacy Score, Financial Planning and Habits, and Financial Knowledge and Education. And they tested each of those three areas and then combined them into one score. Now you can test your financial literacy by taking the 30-question Wallet Literacy Survey. You can easily find that online. I took it, and even as a financial expert, I didn't get a perfect score, but I was relieved to get a 97%. South Dakota ranked 39th in this evaluation. The Financial Planning and Habits Survey rated 10 areas: the share of adults who spend more than they earn, that had rainy day funds, and were saving for their college education for their child. Those three things accounted for 50% of the total score. So in this area, South Dakota embarrassingly ranked a dismal 50th. The Financial Knowledge and Education section rated 7 areas: having received a good grade in your high school financial literacy course, having graduated from high school, and having earned a bachelor's degree from college accounted for 75% of the total score. This was South Dakota's best showing at 22nd. Unfortunately, when the scores in those three areas were combined, South Dakota ranked an embarrassing 49th in the nation, just ahead of Louisiana and Arkansas. The other states in the bottom 10 were Oklahoma, Alaska, Mississippi, West Virginia, Connecticut, New Mexico, and Washington, D.C. The top 10 states in order: top state was Nebraska, our sister state to the south, Utah, Virginia, Colorado, New Hampshire, North Carolina, Maine, Iowa, Minnesota, and New Jersey. Interestingly, financial literacy has a correlation to political party affiliation. 7 of the 10 lowest ranked states are considered red states, and 7 of the 10 states with the highest financial literacy are considered blue states. I am not going to speculate as to why this is and leave that interpretation to you and analysts that are smarter than I am. Other findings found men scored higher than women. The higher one's income, the higher the score. The higher one's education, the higher the score. And married individuals scored higher than any other group. Those having postgraduate degrees, masters and above, scored 50% higher than those who did not graduate from high school. So education is an indicator of financial literacy. Generally speaking, the older respondents were, the better they did, with the exception of the 55 to 64 age group, which scored the highest just ahead of the 65 plus age group. Unsurprisingly, there was a strong correlation with those who had the strong education, as I said before. They scored higher, and those who had a weak education scored more poorly. The former had the highest combined scores, and the latter the lowest combined scores. So again, the more educated a person was, the better they were. It also found that those with the highest credit scores and strong financial literacy had the highest combined scores, and those having a weak credit score and weak financial literacy had the lowest combined scores. So from all this, you could conclude that the biggest influence on financial planning is financial literacy and education. Not so. South Dakota is evidence that this isn't the case. South Dakota scored in the 43rd percentile for education and the 75 percentile for financial literacy, but scored almost dead last, 98th percentile for financial planning and habits. How is that possible? There were 28 states ranked lower than South Dakota in financial knowledge and education, but higher in financial planning and habits. So there's no correlation. The point is, there's no correlation between financial knowledge and education and good financial planning habits. So, if education isn't a predictor of financial literacy and good financial planning, then what is? I don't know. I really don't. And the researchers didn't speculate on this. Whatever the special sauce is for good financial planning habits, South Dakotans need to discover the recipe. Thanks for joining me.